Hello and welcome to this how-to video, How to Enable Flow Collection. I'm Brian Promise, joined today by Steve Plotkin. Now, Steve, flow data can be a fantastic source, right, for users to quickly understand how applications are behaving on infrastructure. But before someone actually can begin to visualize flow, they need to make sure it's collected. Can you walk folks through the first steps to making sure and how a flow-enabled device is enabled inside SevOne, and then we'll go to visualization next.
Yes, absolutely. That's perfect, Brian. So basically, the customer sets up their devices that we're discovering to be able to send the data to the NetFlow device. In this particular case, it'd be the NMS IP address, and to the NetFlow collection port, which we standardized on 9996, but can be configured to use any port the customer wants. Once the devices are sending the data, we then see the data in the NMS in the Flow Interface Manager. And what we're seeing here is the devices that are sending flows and how many are active or inactive. And to give you an example, this device has 8 interfaces, but I'm only interested in allowing flow on just 2, not the rest of them. So I have granular control of what ports, what systems, that interfaces I want to send and actually allow the collection of that data. As we're collecting the data, you can see we are showing collection rates. And so we're constantly collecting all of the information. As that information is being collected, it's stored. We store data for a year. And then we can then use reports to show the activity and definitely do some analytics to that data. So in this particular situation, I have those devices sending flow. And as you can see here, I'm looking at a report that is top conversations with applications. And so you're seeing the application, which is DNS from and to. I can see the data in a chart format where it is being the DNS from the client to the application. And I can also see it from various other types of graphs. I'm also able to do sand key, which is another view of flow data, but gives you a very different diagram. So I am then able to look at the steps that the data is having. I can look at application ports, the direction of the application, the client IP. I can minimize this information. And as you can see, I get to use different levels of analytics. From the application.
So Steve, a question on this one. I'm guessing the thicker the line is, there's more traffic on that line?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
So I'm able to look at this very simply and clearly what is kind of going on with the traffic and throughput in my environment. Now this is just one interface. I could go with all interfaces, all directions, and the same sand key diagram. And as I add the data, you will then start to see more information show up to that application. I can also change the type of QoS report to the next hop, and it will update the chart. So now you're seeing the information per hop. And this is also very useful because you can see from client to the application, the throughput, the amount of data, and how many hops the application's actually taking. These are all very, very useful reports for the traffic going through your environment. And that's an advantage.
Yeah. Well, Steve, thanks for taking the time today. You showed us, how to make sure your device is enabled for flow, show some of the, I'll say the variables to be, as precise as you need to about what interfaces that you want to have data be sent, and then walking through a simple introduction of some of the visualizations that can happen now, or you can have. So if folks want to learn more about some of these visualizations, please scroll down and look in the data insights section. and you'll see a range of introduction videos and how to create reports and edit them and create workflows. So with that, Steve, thanks again for your help.